I'll burn the pancakes and probably the house too, but baby, it's stuck to me like glue.
Hello, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. I'm wearing my lav mic in the middle of slow San Luis Obispo, you folks. I am in Central California right now, headed home from what was kind of a wild and unexpected day. And there's so many things I want to share with you right now, but first off, let's go to the basics. So this morning, I was waiting for work for 3 hours. 3 freaking hours. There was absolutely no work. Fridays are usually slow. I don't like to say usually because I don't want to assume every day is going to be the same, right? 3 hours and no work. I'm like, wow, this is quite a bummer. What's today going to be like? And close to 9 a.m., I was like, oh my God, you got one? He's like, yep, update. And so I looked at it and I'm looking. It says like San Luis Obispo Boulevard in San Luis Obispo, County, Florida. I was like, I'm sorry, what? San Luis Obispo? San Luis Obispo? That's like nowhere near here. That's like a whole ass road trip, right? This is like crazy. Like, what? So it takes me an hour just to get to West LA to pick up the medication. And the destination was UCLA in San Luis Obispo. I had one job today, no other work. It was completely slow. I'm climbing up this beautiful highway, and the day just gets better and better. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I just hope I get my gas paid for. I hope I get my minimum goal because I'm up here, which means like there's no work. It wasn't meant to be to have work on the way home. I have one job today. Deliver this, and from San Luis Obispo to Long Beach, that's your gas, that's your time. You're not going to be making any money. And it's very easy to get into that grind and be like, well, I'm going to go back home because tomorrow I got a vet appointment for Sebastian and I should be home worrying like crazy and giving him all this medication that will hopefully sedate him, and we will find out if he is dying or living or just needs a shot. We don't know. Mommy's freaking out. I believe that I don't have to worry, that I can just give him a shot while he's sedated. Hopefully it'll be enough. Don't have to pay an extra $200 for sedation. I'm going to be able to give him an exam, give him a nail trim, hopefully give him an antibiotic, and I pray to God that's all I need. But I could spend all the time worrying about that. Technically, in a logical sense, will worrying make the situation better? Can I change it? Is it in my control to do something about it? It's not. It's totally fucking not. So here I am on this road trip. And I'm in rush hour traffic all the way there, all the way, because I didn't get the package until 10:30. And I was like, okay, you want me to go 50 miles away in rush hour traffic? Okay, sure. Let's do it, folks. And so I see these absolutely gorgeous mountains when I'm passing Santa Barbara. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what Los Padres is. This is absolutely gorgeous. I said, why is everybody talking about Santa Barbara and the beautiful sand and the beautiful beaches when I'm looking at the mountains right now and it looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex is like hanging out on the top of those peaks and the mountains are taller than the clouds and you just see this misty, beautiful weather. And then I start doing some research on my phone and I was like, what? There's hot springs over here? It's 2.5 miles round trip, and I'm looking at it, and it looks like a little glimpse of Hawaii. What? Are you kidding me? This sounds amazing. And then I started getting in my head and daydreaming about some beautiful man that is like, hey, babe, it's the weekend. let's grab the dogs, let's grab Sebastian, let's go on a weekend getaway, you and me. We're going to spend the weekend up here, do a coast trip. We're going to go hiking. We're going to enjoy the hot springs. So I just went into my little brain and enjoyed the idea of spending a romantic and beautiful time with a guy that just wants to explore and live life. And I thought to myself, well, until that day comes, which it will one day, who's going to do it? You? So I go on this adventure, right? And I start realizing that, I can hope and I can just say in a positive way, one day you will find this adoring man and you'll be in his arms and he'll be established and he'll be handsome. Winner, chicken dinner. Like, he will be a wonderful thing. Like, it'll be one of those tropes. Like, where have you been my whole life? And come to find out, I just had to be in this place of my life to find this type of man. But until that day happens, if that day happens, I've come to realize, or have been reminded, or at least that trope that people talk about now finally makes sense to me. Pause. Pappy's 101 Diner. Yeah, Evelyn, you're going to have to look that up later, because whatever Pappy's 101 Diner is exactly where I want to go. See, the problem is, like, I'm like post lemon drop in my tummy right now, and I just want to make all of these stops. Oh, I bet they have the best chicken fried steak right now. And there's this like swap meet that isn't even open, but my God, how cute that would be on the weekends. Okay, so anyways, we're not even at that part of the story yet. So I go on my all trails and I see these two hikes that I want to do in the future. One is a hot springs and the other one, it's called Santa Pablo. And All Trails is like, what? Are you like in another continent? Like, no, that doesn't exist here. Well, okay, fine. So All Trails doesn't really know what I'm talking about, but hopefully I'll be able to find it later, because it looks like it's like, 40 miles, 20 miles, and it looks gorgeous, and I want to check it out sometime. So I continue on my drive past Santa Barbara. I go through Los Padres, and I'm like, wow, I'm getting paid right now to drive through this national forest that I've never been to as an adult, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Loved it. Oh my God, so beautiful. So I keep driving and driving and driving, and then now all of a sudden it's like vibes. You know exactly you're in Central California, and you see these open plains and the moo-moos, as my mom would call it, and these very like wispy trees that look dead and look like they were like Salem witch trials vibes, you know? And so I thought to myself, like, I really, on my way home, and this is a funny thing about life, you guys, if you say you're going to do something later, you might not do it. Not guaranteed, but you might not do it. And I should have just done it then. I should have pulled over, but, I was here for work, not pleasure. So little mini Miss Gutu. Wow, I can't even say that. How do you say that? Goody two shoes. Oh my God, there we go. I'm just like in a haze right now. Was like, no, I need to deliver this package first. They want it by 4. Yes, I'm going to be there by 2, whatever. Okay. So I was like, I'm not going to stop and take a picture. And then I'm like, Evelyn, what are you going to do? Go into the plains and take a picture in your gray polo and your gross fucking pants and your badge? Well, no, actually. The thought was, if you're going to take a photo in the middle of these fields right now, and you don't have this elegant black dress, and it's not this giant, like, fashion statement, what is the one outfit you can wear that is not in your car right now? And reminder to myself that I need to be packing makeup and a nice dress in my car for occasions such as this. I seriously, like, last time I got asked out on a date in San Diego, I was like, oh my God, why didn't I bring a dress? So this is like the second time to remind myself, bring your passport everywhere you go. That will happen when Sebastian passes in like 10 or 15 years, hopefully. Hopefully I'll have 10 or 15 more years. And after that, it's going to be like, yeah, Evelyn, bring your passport everywhere because you have no idea where your day is going to go. And that's kind of how I like to live my life. So anyways, if I'm going to take pictures in these like wispy fields in Central California and I don't have an outfit, I'm like, well, Evelyn, the photographer in you is going to just say, like, take off all your clothes. And so we'll see what the vibes are like. You know, I've got 40 more minutes until Solvang. Like, maybe if there's like a place I could stop, I'll take a picture. But like, you know, if you don't have any clothes to wear, then the answer is wear no clothes. So it's always been on my bucket list to do a little picture expose in the middle of the woods over here. It's like the photographer in me that used to exist. It's so gross. Like, I'm in like these beautiful fields, and then there's like these billboards, and in the middle of these beautiful fields it says Chick-fil-A. Come on, you guys. I hate when you see billboards up here. It's like there weren't billboards on the way up, but of course, going back down to SoCal, you see billboards. And it's funny to me when people in Southern California think they're the shit. They think they're the best. Let's be entitled. Let's be pretentious. And then you come up here and it's like, guys, your beaches have nothing on SoCal. Your people have nothing on SoCal. Like, this is gorgeous up here. I just can't believe it. Anyway, so I keep driving up. I drop off the package. And on my way up, I'm thinking, like, man, I'm like craving a lemon drop. Like, I wonder if there's like a nice place to get a lemon drop. Like, I didn't have a lemon drop when I wanted it like a month ago. Like, why am I craving a lemon drop? This is so weird. So I drop off the package and I was like, let me just do a weird Google search. I was like, isn't the Madonna Inn like somewhere over here? And I'm like, no, that's going to be like more Northern California. And I look it up and it said Madonna Inn, San Luis Obispo. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. The Madonna Inn is like 2.5 miles away from my destination. What? 14 minutes away? Well, unless I'm deciding to be a capitalist today or a conservative, why would I not? I've never been to the Madonna Inn before as an adult, actually ever. And I just assumed in my head the way people talked about it, especially my ex-mother-in-law, it sounded so overrated. It sounded gaudy. It sounded just like cheesy and like not well done. And I go there. Boy, was I very wrong. And what a grateful experience that I got to have at the Madonna Inn. It's so beautiful. On a Friday night, it costs $166 to spend one night there. Do you know what $166 in LA and Orange County gets you? A shitty Best Western in a ghetto area. But for the same price, you could drive 3 hours up and stay at the Madonna Inn. They had this gorgeous diner and bakery. Oh my God. I got a slice of coconut cake and a butterscotch cookie. This guy was really trying to sell me on the toffee cake because I saw that too late after he had already wrapped up the coconut cake. And I said, you gotta be kidding me. You have toffee cake? You have toffee cake? Stop. Oh my God. I was like, no, I can't spend $35 on 2 slices of cake and a cookie for me. Like, I can't. We are not trying to overindulge. I already went to your gift shop and bought authentic milk glass. Like, I didn't even need authentic milk glass. But the very cute and charming young high school girl was like, totally should have been a salesperson instead of like in retail selling me milk glass. So anyways, this place was incredible. I had to take a picture of the cakes because they were like giant. And I said like, hey, I'm just curious, how much is that toffee cake down there? I mean, it was basically like 5 feet by 5 feet, right? He's like, it's $80. I was like, $80? You can't get a cake that quality and that big for like what? Like, it's almost worth driving up 3 hours to get this $80 cake and bringing it back. Because people in LA are like, oh, $100 cake, and it's, oh my God, like I can't, like what? What is this Costa de Oro wine tasting? Hey, people, remember that. Costa, okay. The new lesson. We all need to take a trip on a weekend with no objective. Like, okay, say maybe you're going to SLO. Maybe you're going to San Francisco. Maybe a little bit closer since there's a million things you're going to want to do. And the only objective that you have is when you see something, you stop and you go. All the things in your head, like, oh, we'll go another time in an arbitrary time that doesn't exist. No, you're going to go now and you're going to live it up because that's when you're actually going to go. Okay? Now, this is theory talking because, like, I still have to go to Solvang and I'm going to try to get to the hot springs tonight. We're going to see if that even happens. But that little wine tasting area, oh my God, I got to remember that. Costa de Oro wine tasting? Yes. Future husband, future boyfriend, future fiance, and Evelyn, make a note of that. That is where we're going to go, up or down on our adventure. Anyways, so I buy some glass from the gift shop. I almost overindulged and bought some chocolate mints for my friends as a souvenir, but I didn't. And then I explored. I went to the bar and I had this wonderful lemon drop and I said, can you walk around? She's like, yes, you can drink and shop. And I was like, of course you can. So I went down into the basement where they had this beautiful, like, private room that you can rent. And it's got this gorgeous kind of like Frank Sinatra vibe, like bar, and then like a dance floor. And it's all closed off. You can only have it for private parties. They had a gift shop. Then I go up at the top and they have another gift shop. And then they have a bar. And the whole thing, it's a whole experience. If you're going to spend $166 on a hotel with like no plan on leaving, you don't need to leave. You literally have everything there. It is such an amazing experience that everything you would want to do is right there. Why Google a dive bar, kitschy diner when they have one right there? They got a bakery. I mean, I feel like a spokesperson for them, but they're playing this absolutely gorgeous, like, jazz music. And of course, I'm feeling very, like, sad in my head because I'm thinking of past loved ones. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, Evelyn, you loved him because in part, because what you loved about him was in you all along. What he loved, you loved. And you loved that he brought that out of you when you weren't able to be yourself. And you got to be yourself around him. And how can I ever hate somebody that helped me get in a place in my life where I could follow my heart? I told myself that in the freaking mirror, essentially. I was sad because I said, Evelyn, you love this music, not just him. You love this music. And I said, yeah, well, I'm not going to have the same thing. It's going to be different, but is he going to like that music too? And I had this moment with myself where it's like, yeah, like apparently in life, for a lot of people, I don't know the select few people that get to go back to their exes. And I would love to talk to them and what that dynamic was like, if it was just a coincidence or if it was a pool. And, I even tell myself now, like, I still believe I will see my ex again. The only difference is we're not going to be together. I will see him. I will talk to him one day, and I feel that in my bones. I really hope he's not going to hurt himself one day because he's been on my heart lately, and I hope I'm not foreshadowing something in the future. I'm worried about that guy. It's wild to me to think that you could love somebody so unconditionally. No one is more irreplaceable to you. Like you will never have something so wonderful in your life and they don't see themselves that way. I get it. That used to be me. I totally get it. And so when people are like, you can't love someone else if you don't love yourself. Well, I don't actually believe that's true, but it is a lot harder. And I'm not necessarily saying it works out. Okay, you guys, I'm in that like wispy area right now. If there's a pool off, I should probably do it, you know? I should like post that picture on the podcast. Anyways, I'll post it on my Instagram because otherwise people are going to be like, what am I listening to? Just so you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so I had a moment myself in the mirror and I was listening to this beautiful music and I was like, Evelyn, like you love this shit. Like there is nowhere else in the world I would have rather been than that moment experiencing drinking a lemon drop with a little peep on it, listening to this beautiful 40s music and falling in love with this gorgeous space. Talking at the bar with some people from Chicago and Colorado. And we're talking about climate change and appreciating the moment of where we were. It was quite lovely. I cheers to them. This guy was talking about Meta glasses and they were of an older generation. I said, I'm 43 years old. I'm 43, my God. I'm 34 years old right now saying this. I will not buy Meta glasses now and I will not buy Meta glasses when I'm 84. And the girl was like, here, like, we like you. Like, yeah, no, I'm young now saying that. It has nothing to do with not being in the times. Like, it's just like who I am. So anyways, I leave the Madonna Inn, $45 in debt, cut into my profit of $313. So subtract $85 for gas, because believe it or not, literally $85 in gas, and subtract $45 from what I just went. Obviously, I need to make a profit and a minimum of what I made today. Wow, what a beautiful... Is this where I'm going to stop? Oh my God, it's too late to stop. That barn. I feel like if you're going to get naked in the woods, you should do it with somebody else so they can quickly take your picture and then run away. You know what I mean? I think there's that fine line between I need to indulge and do everything now and leave some room for mysteries and wonderful things to happen later, because I swear to God, I was going to buy 2 slices of cake and a cookie and a lemon drop and a wine glass, and I still have 2 more destinations to go to. Oh, it's difficult, but I'm learning, because this is not who I used to be in the past. I used to think that the only time I could treat myself is if I was dating somebody. And ironically, like, you know, as they say, I've been dating myself for the last 5 years and I'm starting to treat myself a lot better. And maybe it won't feel like so much pressure to hopefully find someone one day, because I can date myself just as good as they can. You know, it does suck not to be able to have that human connection yet. And I keep thinking, well, you're going to miss your window because you're almost 35. But even if I find somebody at 65 and they're wonderful, like, what the fuck is that going to matter? I mean, yeah, it's a longer time away from somebody that you could love, but thank God I am being shown a love that has nothing to do with another person or a pet or a human or a child or a job or a status or a location. But it's like, thank God, if you don't have the love that you wish that you could have one day, at least you are able to have yourself. And if you have a good relationship with yourself, then you feel fulfilled, you feel satisfied. And it's a beautiful feeling. I got 25 more minutes to Solvang, which is technically on the way home. And I'm like, I haven't been to Solvang as an adult. And Solvang, passing that area coming up was so interesting. I was like, Salem witch trial vibes. There's this Lutheran church on the corner where like the Village was probably filmed. This place is like intense out here. Like lynching vibes, like shotgun vibes, like this place is, Bible thumping out here for sure. But my God, it's beautiful. The history here, the wild flowers, and I'm going to go into town and what, it's going to be like a little mini, like, German beer fest over there? Like, what? Like, I don't know. People always talk about Solvang, but I've only ever been there as a kid. So, and I'm by myself. Like, what? That's crazy. So it should be kind of interesting to see how that goes. And then if it's not too incredibly late, because I might be able to get some work this evening to pay for all my shenanigans. Actually, if I do my third stop, I probably won't. But I really want to go up to that hot springs. And one of the reviews on All Trails said, my girlfriend and I went at night to the hot springs, but we couldn't go in because there were cockroaches everywhere. It's like, fucking cockroaches? What? Are you kidding me? What? Then I was like, wow, I didn't even think about going to these hot springs at night. That might be beautiful. My thought was like, oh my God, are there going to be like reptilians everywhere that want to eat me? Like, no, thank you. Also, I don't know how my dad could drive up north for Thanksgiving to Gilroy on a tank of gas, and I'm almost out of gas. And I have to fill up again. I barely went anywhere. That's crazy. Anyways, I really can't spend any money in Solvang. That's the lesson there, because independent contractor life, you got to pay your own gas. $60 for gas. Can you believe that? For one tank. It's just like, I used to make $100 in the evening for like 2.5, 3 hours. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, that used to be good money until gas became $20 more expensive. Anyways, I'm not going to complain as I'm enjoying these vineyards right now. So I'm going to go to Solvang. Then hopefully I'm going to go to these hot springs, do a little hike in my fucking work clothes. If it's not, actually, it wasn't that far. Like from the freeway, it said it was like 12 minutes away. I was like, what? I'll probably do my skinny dipping there because, like, oh, I'm going to the hot springs in my clothes. And apparently it does smell like sulfur. So I'm very excited to let you guys know how that goes. And then I'm going to go home, spend some time with my cat, give him his medication, and hopefully by 1 o'clock tomorrow I'll have a good day with my boy. Hopefully he's going to be okay. But I very much easily could have just gone straight home. I have one objective: go home, grind. You need to be home by 4 o'clock. You need to be home by 5 o'clock. You don't want to be home past 6 o'clock. If you really think about the time we have left, although no one is granted 80s, 90s, 100 years old, let's just say in theory you were fortunate enough to live a long life. Let's say you're 100 years old. I got like, you think about all the times you're spent working. Think about all the weekends that you're resting instead of playing. And there's not enough time in the world. So it's like, you got to do what you got to be able to do. Sky view, look that up. No, that looks too bougie and Instagrammy. I mean, it looks cute, but like that's more of like a wedding destination. Ugh. I think in elementary school, I always wanted to get married at a vineyard. And then when I met my ex, I knew that my other ex was not meant for me because I wanted to get married in the mountains. Maybe I could do both. Maybe there's a place, probably out here, where you get married in the mountains and your reception is at a vineyard. Boom! I just did it. See, there you go. We're planning things as we go. Hopefully I don't have to marry myself. You know, hopefully. It's probably just a numbers game, you know, like I'm starting to talk to these guys online, and I actually unmatched with 2 of them because I was like, you know, I had my therapist in the back of my mind who's like, Evelyn, you know, one of the lessons you learned from your exes was, there's a lot of lessons, but one of them wasn't to settle. And to each their own. And there's very much that side where people say, well, if you're picky and if your standards are too high, you know you're going to get older. My dad and my aunt talk like this a lot. You're going to get older, your looks are going to fade, it's going to be harder to find someone. And it sounds so bleak when they say that. It sounds so bleak. And maybe that means that I spend my life alone. Like, I'm a walking catch, but for whatever reason, people don't approach me. My friend was telling me the other day, he's like, Evelyn, like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know why you can't get laid. I'm getting laid all the time. So I was like, I remember when that was like a big problem for you. It's like, yeah, it's not anymore. I'm like, I'm really fucking happy for you. He's like, well, you know, if you really wanted it, like, I would help you out. I was like, bro, I appreciate that. That's not going to happen. And then I like played his game to like his point. You know, he didn't understand. And this is why things are kind of difficult or backwards in my life. I said, all right, friend. So when we're done at this event, you want to do it in the car? He's like, no, I'm not going to do it in the car. Like, what the fuck? I said, well, what? I'm going to get a $300 ticket parking at your place? Like, do you want to finger me or not? And he's like, oh my God, no. Like, we'll just do it another time. And I looked at him kind of cheeky. I was like, see, there you go. A lot of people think other people are going to do something, so they don't need to do it. A lot of people that surround me are like, oh, she's unavailable, or she's with that guy who's a friend and not my boyfriend, or oh, she looks intimidating, or oh, she wouldn't want to. And it's funny because all the guys that are like, I don't understand. Like this one guy, he was like, Evelyn, you need to be asking for more. You're not asking enough. If all you want is a burrito and safe sex, and like good loving, he's like, maybe you need to be asking more. Maybe that's your problem. You're not asking that much. I said, I know I'm not. But I said, let's just try to get the basics first, and you watch how difficult it is. He bought me a meal once, and because of his job situation, he was struggling. Never bought me another meal again. Couldn't even afford to buy condoms. Oh my God. And yeah, no. So I just thought it was funny. He like was rolling his eyes up. He's like, if you were my woman. And the problem was, and I respect that attitude, but like, if you were my woman, I'd give you all these things. And I'm like, well, you have an opportunity right here and you're giving me jack shit and you're not even trying with what you do have. And I think that's more of the point. But I do think it's funny that he was absolutely tripping balls. He's like, I don't understand. You're barely asking for anything. And I was like, I know. And you can't even do that, which is kind of my point. It's like the principle of the thing. You know what I mean? Love me well and safely, which is, you know, free minus what? A couple bucks for a condom. And feed me. It could be a steak dinner or it could be a $10 burrito. You pick. And you would be amazed in my circle how difficult that is. And I think to my point about me going to Solvang and Santa Barbara Hot Springs and Madonna Inn and Slow is that there are always going to be other times to do things. And sometimes you think you have good intentions that you're going to do it and then you don't. I'm not saying go be impulsive, but for people that are kind of in that grind and in that headspace, it's really hard to get out, especially in America. We live in a capitalistic nation. And SoCal in particular, it's very grindy, very demanding of your time. Everybody's on a lot of people are on the same page now that healthcare is designed to kill you, not to make you better. It's unfortunate. So when you have moments like this that strike you, yeah, I would have saved an extra $100 if I just went home. I could have snuggled with my cat and it would have been a normal Friday. I could have been upset that I don't have a charming man who's kissing me and holding me and sharing tunes with me in the car, or I can do that with myself. I actually did have an intimate moment with myself in the car. Yes, I did. A lot of people are like, what the fuck, Evelyn? You masturbate in your car? I'm like, yeah, sometimes. I just know now not to do it around cars like Teslas because modern day cars, they do have cameras all around their car. And one time when I was in my friend's Tesla, he pressed a button on his screen. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm taking a picture of what they're doing in their car right now. I said, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, look. And I'm like, what the fuck? You can see into their car and you're recording? It blew my mind. So now I know, Evelyn, if you're going to touch yourself on the freeway, make sure you're doing it around cars that were made, like, what, 20 years ago and below? Fun fact about me. People think that's so outrageous, but yes, it's a total double standard. If a guy did it, it's super creepy and disgusting. If a girl did it, it was hot. Hi, everybody. I think I left that audio at a really funny spot. Let's just leave it at that. I am unable to do the hot springs in Santa Barbara on my way home. I'm learning the lesson that you need to know when enough is enough. And I walked around through Solvang, which was absolutely just peaceful, honestly. I sat under some trees, listened to the wind, smelt the fresh green energy, and filled out some Mother's Day postcards for my mom and my grandma, and got some gifts for my mom and my aunt and my grandma at this freaking charming fairy shop. And I told the woman that her store was something out of the 10th Kingdom. And I asked her if she did readings, and she said no, she just sold it. And she was such a darling, and she let me charge my phone, so I had 10% more battery to get home. Because, of course, my portable charger was not active. What am I trying to say? Words. There's no words. You can't even use words right now. I do have to wrap this up because I have 3 hours left of my drive before I make it home, and I do need battery. Why don't you have a charger? I do have a charger in my car, haters. Thank you. But when you have the GPS open, I don't need to explain anything to you. I was like, I'm not going to spend any money in Solvang. And so I created a new rule for myself. If there is a holiday or a birthday coming up, you can buy somebody a gift. But if there's not an occasion coming up, keep your bank account in your pocket and don't spend money, because if I spent any more money than I did, I would not have made money at all for work, and this would have just been a vacation. I will feel very good about myself if I actually made a day's worth of work and gas money and was able to treat a couple people in my life. So I'm very grateful for that. Also, I know you guys, I'm like so crazy when it comes to this. I'm so sad. Oh, there was this gorgeous, incredible moment. And I pray and hope, universe, you know what I'm talking about, that you will have this come full circle one day. There was this guy, as I was walking into the pastry Danish shop. Oh my gosh. Well, you should not be charging $7.50 for an eclair. Otherwise, I would have bought one. But I was like, yes, I'll buy a house coffee. Let's support this place that probably does not need any support. They're doing just fine, and get a delicious house coffee. And there was this guy on the street in his car, and I looked at him and I thought, oh, what a heavenly looking man. You do not see men like that every day. Oh, my Lord, what a little greaser. Oh, not a little greaser. Ooh, ooh, ooh. He was fine as hell. I was like, what are you doing in Solvang by yourself? Do not tell me you're local and you live here. Presumably, I'm not even going to presume anything, but I'm not even going to fantasize whether or not he was single or not. All I know is that it was a beautiful, touching moment. By the way, Chumash Highway, that's where I'm at. Is that where I should take off my clothes and take a picture? I don't know. Maybe I don't have to be in the picture, you guys. Maybe I could just pull off on the side of the road and take a picture. It is quite lovely. I mean, it sucks because it's like I need to tell myself, you cannot do it. Well, that was your pull off right there, Evelyn. God damn it. You cannot do everything, right? You cannot do everything. But I am so grateful to be enjoying this time right now, especially with you guys. That guy was beautiful. So I looked at him, he looked at me, I looked at him, and then when he realized, yes, I'm looking at you, he gave me this smile. I'm like, oh, me? And then drove away. And I was like, God, please turn around, have him turn around. He did not turn around. Anyways, beautiful moment. I will move on from here. Seriously, am I going to pull over right now? I need to just enjoy this moment, you guys. I just needed to end this and let you guys know I was not able to do the hot springs because it's too late. And you guys need to make sure that I actually go to that hot springs because, man, it looks so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, this whole area, you guys. The 154 highway. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Oh, obviously back in the day, these were some reservations because it's just holy and peaceful and just wonderful over here. I love it. It's interesting when the sun goes down, it's got a different vibes. It's less Salem witch trial-y and more Shanghai Noon. If you've ever seen that movie with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson, it's wonderful. This is where you pull off, Evelyn. I need to just keep you on your toes. Is she going to pull off or not? But I do need to end this because I'm either about to strip naked on the side of this Chumash freeway and take a photo, or at least allow myself the capability to charge my phone so that I know how to get home from 138 more miles left of my destination. If nothing else, live your best life. Go on that road trip. Maybe some of you need to hear that you need to be spontaneous and impulsive. Maybe some of you do need to be. Not everybody who's listening to this lives in a capitalistic nation, but just a reminder, when you get outside of that bubble and that grind, there is a whole other world out there, and you are allowed to live it. Do we think capitalist attitudes are over here on the Chumash freeway? Are these people bumping and grinding and city life? Maybe I just got to get out of the city. I've been telling myself I need to get out of the city and live in the mountains. And I don't want to say if I had a lot of money, because that's you need to just do what you want to do. But people like me, it's I want to do it all. I want to do it everywhere. I want to do it all the time. And that's why people like me should not smoke cannabis or nicotine or become an alcoholic. People like me do that kind of stuff. I was reading this thing in this charming bookstore, these little pamphlets about psychology, and it was talking about type A personalities and how we have to watch out for heart disease because we're always grinding and going. And one thing that can help is loved ones and support and being around the people you love. But it is interesting that personality types like me often do struggle with heart disease and heart attacks. And I've known that. So if I know that and I'm reading it out of this charming book in Solvang, you best believe us type A personalities actually, it's a necessity. It's a need. Spend some money now so that you don't die later. I know that right now I just have my cat and I've got some family members left. Thank God I still have some family left. I don't like thinking thoughts hey, you had this wonderful date to yourself, and I wish I was in the arms of a man that loved me right now and that we were enjoying this together. And I'm Evelyn, don't ruin this moment. I'm allowed to be thinking thoughts like that, but this is incredibly beautiful and I need to relish it, and I need to spend some time with my radio off and just enjoying this incredible spot. So I recommend you spend some time at the Madonna Inn and Solvang. Go to that Fairy and Frog shop. I wish I wasn't 37 minutes late and could have gotten my friend his birthday gift, which is in June, which is a little souvenir from the all year round Christmas shop. He would have loved that. And I just want to send a special love to everybody that listened to this. Life is incredibly, incredibly precious. And it sucks when sometimes we don't allow ourselves to relax and unwind and have fun. Math and science camp in the middle of nowhere. Sorry, that's super cute. I want to go to science and math camp. Oh my God, that's so cute. Anyways, I can't talk to you and possibly turn off at the same time. Life is precious. Life is beautiful. And I can only hope that for all of us that there are more lives that we get to live after this one. Who knows? Maybe we die and we go to another planet and live again and have an entirely different life, or hopefully we'll get lucky enough our brains will shut off and there's no spirit or consciousness, and so we won't know the difference, and then we die, and because we have no memories and no consciousness, we don't have to worry about, missing out on all these beautiful memories. Like, I don't know, but in the world we're living now, oh my God, I need to stop. Like, what is this? Like, there's like a lake surrounded by these mountains in this beautiful area. Oh my gosh, you guys, no parking anytime. Okay, geez, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to end this with, I'm paraphrasing a quote. My phone was charging. I couldn't take a picture, but it was beautiful. It basically said, to dreamers, don't ever tell yourself that you can't dream, because dreaming, oh man, I wish I could quote it. Dreaming is just you catching up to your reality, and it's your reality in motion. Something like that. Meditate on that concept. And I looked down when I saw that and thought it was a beautiful moment. And then I looked down and I saw this David Bowie book, and I was like, no, Evelyn, stop it. You could dream about some things. And I'm like, no, you're not in this fairy shop right now dreaming about how the things that you are dreaming about are actually true in reality. You just need to live, and you're dreaming them for a reason. Okay, I'm going to stop now. It's a beautiful concept. Can I say that everyone gets to dream and their dreams become realities? I don't know. I'm not you. And if I'm not the life maker and decision maker of your life, then I can't say it's not for you. But I would love to tell you guys, yes, these dreams came true. I don't think I dreamt this, but I am certainly grateful that life gave me this opportunity to enjoy this. Whatever you are dreaming can and will come true. It's just your reality that needs to catch up to it. You guys got to find that quote somewhere online. I'm sure it's a thing. But when you're reading that in a fairy shop, it's pretty freaking cute. Anyways, I'm going to go. Don't forget, life is precious. Enjoy it if you want to. It is tragic that some people don't allow themselves to enjoy or be loved. And these are the moments that are absolutely beautiful. I hope you get to say hi to a stranger today. I hope you get to hug a loved one today. I hope you get to love a stranger, hug a stranger today, and reconnect with a loved one today. I hope you get to see something that surprises you in a beautiful, positive way. I hope something unforgettable, life-changing happens for you today. I hope the unexpected happens. I hope that your dreams come true. I hope and dream and wish and spit for you that you have a wonderful rest of your day and you feel warm inside and loved inside. And there is at least one person out there besides you, also me, who loves you. Take care. Besos. Hey, you guys. How's it going? P.S. So, I finally made it to the 101. I just wanted to give you an update. I did actually get to do all 3 things on my list. Little bit sketchy, though. I'm wearing my sunglasses at night. Literally. It's either see well in the dark or don't see very well and have a little bit of light. It's quite a bummer that I lost my prescription glasses. I'm trying to tell myself it's better than getting your sunglasses lost or your phone or your keys or your car broken into or your wallet or your purse. So I need to focus on the good. But I called my dispatcher and he said, no luck, there's no work on your way home, no Laguna night shift. So I'm like, well, if I don't really have a reason to rush home other than the fact that I miss my cat dearly, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to this dang hot springs, but be quick about it. It's 2.5 miles, not a big deal, in and out. And I'm always glad that I do these last minute hikes, but I do have to be very careful because the sun was going down. I had 10% battery left. But the funny thing is, this is a very popular hike on the weekends where it's impossible to find parking and there's a ton of people and it's super touristy. But when I went, it's like you got to have your multi-tool out. These 3 kids were like, make a left at the sign, keep going down another 15 minutes, but be careful. There's a pedo up there all by himself, and he's super weird and, what they say, like weird and scary looking. I don't know. Thank God I did not bump into that pedo, but them just saying that made the hike 10 times creepier because I saw 3 kids and me and 1 runner, and that was it. And, if you've seen American Psycho, the runner definitely could have been the pedo, but no, he was like some hot runner. And then it made me think mental illness and abusive, psychopaths and serial killers and people that are struggling don't always start off as such. I remember having this friend since junior high, and it wasn't until we were almost 30 before he decided doing really shady things. He turned into a sexual predator, 1 to young boys and 2 to my friend on my 29th birthday while he was on mushrooms trying to sleep. It was awful. But I thought about it, and in my opinion, you can prevent things like that. It's not always like you had a serial killing upbringing, but if you're not being true to your heart, if you're not following your heart, if you're suppressing things, if you're not coping properly, if you're closeting a lot of things that maybe you shouldn't be closeting, and vice versa. It's interesting to me that if people don't get the help that they need and they think I'm just tough, I'm going to deal with it on my own, I don't know how those people are going to end up. I'm worried about one of my guy friends that he's not working on himself. And I thought there was a lot of improvement when we were talking about a month ago, and he went right back to his old behavior. And this time I don't think it's going to work out. I actually had to delete his number. And I vaguely know the numbers. So if he ever reached out, he's got like a bunch of stuff in my house that he says in his house that he says he's trying to sell, which he's not. So if I lose a couple grand of stuff, it's not worth the abuse. But I see this guy that's really harming himself mentally, and the avoidance that he has in his life. He really projects a lot of criticism and judgment on other people as a way to, I guess, make himself fine and dandy. And he said some pretty awful things to me last night, and he just kind of brushed it off. I don't think he realized the severity of what he said to me. And I thought about someone like him on the hike, and I'm like, you know what? About a month ago, he said he was trying. He really didn't want to be abusive to himself or, say and do hurtful things like to me, that he wanted to be a better man, that I didn't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. And then, a month or 2 later, he's back into this being this arrogant asshole. And I'm thinking to myself, are these the types of guys that aren't taking care of themselves, think everything's fine, they convince themselves everything's fine? Bro, your brother killed himself because you both at a young age were molested by a family member. And you told me, oh yeah, he had some demons that he was never able to work through. And I'm thinking to myself, you might not be harming yourself in that way, but you certainly are harming yourself in other ways. And I feel for him because I was thinking about Star Wars, the plot of Star Wars. I think what I was trying to mention is that, some people are born into the light and are good and turn to the dark side. And there's some people in my life that I realized when I met them along my journey and theirs, they didn't start off bad. But over time, you get to decide if you want your childhood or your adulthood or your life to affect you in a positive or a negative way. And you can either try to cope and deal with things and take responsibility for your life, or you can just sit back and be the victim or become the villain. I don't know. I was on my hike and it got a little eerie. I was like, you know what, Evelyn, I know you didn't see all the springs. You didn't get to dip your toes in. I finished the hike, but I didn't get to go exploring into a lot of the springs. I did get to see some of it. But I was like, Evelyn, you got 10% battery, and that battery has got to last you another hour and a half to get home. You got another 100 miles where you need your battery because your battery pack is dead. It's getting dark. You're wearing sunglasses as the sun is going down. You're by yourself in a place where you didn't fully study the trail. And, I had to have my survival skills come in, got my multi-tool out, keep it far enough away that it's not going to puncture you, let people know, hey, I'm armed just in case, don't pull anything funny, put it away to people that don't look like they're going to hurt you so that they don't think that they're in trouble for their life, delicate balance of, yes, I have protection to protect me, but not to harm you. It's like a thing. Stay on the trail, look back every 15 seconds, every 5 minutes, every 2 minutes to make sure that there isn't someone that's creeping up behind you with a boulder in their hand ready to rape you in the woods, your lifeless body. Just be careful out there. I did what I could, and I was not going to pull them out. I slipped when I got stuck in a snow blizzard, and I told myself after that hike about a year or two ago, I said, Evelyn, you're never going to do something stupid like that by yourself again. Ever, ever, ever. And I told myself, Evelyn, it's not a sin or a shame to one day want to be loved by a beautiful person. And let this hike be one of those hikes that you either do during the day with a bunch of obnoxious people with their boom boxes and their families and their water coolers, or wait until you get to go on a nice date, have a cute little picnic with your man, and feel safe on this hike. You don't have to go explore this whole thing, and you don't have to tell yourself that you're never coming back. Will I be back? I don't know. But I have to know my limits. And I've got 1 hour and 33 minutes left of my drive, 96 miles. I was going to get home about an hour and a half before, but I'm grateful that I got to go on that hike. But you do got to be careful, I said to myself on the trail, it's funny, but it's not funny. Are these hikes where you would think someone would get slashed and murdered? But, I didn't think you could get harmed at your home, but really that kind of shit can happen anyways. I hate having thoughts like that, but if it creates awareness so that you don't do stupid shit, it's like a survival mechanism, I guess. You know what I mean? But it's amazing. You're on the freeway. You're on the 101 South freeway or north, and you go on all trails and look up the hot springs. And I'm like, what? 8 minutes off the freeway? I don't have to drive 40 miles into the mountains. No, it's like right there. There's some beautiful, beautiful private homes over there. And like, man, I'd love to be friends with you. This is wild. I'm like, do they have cameras everywhere? Did they know that I like popped a squat and took a little pee break before I went back on the freeway? I was like, is this an Airbnb? Are these super rich people? Is this generational wealth? Are they just mountain people that love? I mean, it's beautiful over there. Like, I'm just, oh my gosh. Whoever has those 2 mansions over there in the middle of nowhere, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Santa Barbara is really beautiful. It's interesting, though. There's the guy I was talking about earlier. He went to school in Santa Barbara. And it's like, I didn't want to stop here. It's so silly. But I've gotten to a point where my friend is no longer my friend anymore. We tried dating, didn't work. We tried being friends with benefits, didn't work. We tried just being friends. And I started saying to him, like, you're not really a good friend. And I said to myself, he's not really a great human either. He thinks he's fucking great, but whatever. Maybe he's a narcissist. Maybe that's the definition. Who knows? And I was like, I don't want to stop in Santa Barbara. Like, it makes me think of him and it gives me kind of gross vibes. I hate saying that. Like, that sounds like such a horrible thing to say about someone. But as my therapist would say, no, Evelyn, you don't have to love everyone. You really don't. Some people are sheer evil. Some people are really bad. And no, not everybody deserves love. There are a lot of horrible people in this world. I feel like there's a lot of like yogi mantras out there. Love everyone. Be good to everyone. It's just funny that those people can talk the talk but not walk the walk, because there's very few people that can forgive those that have raped their daughters or killed their sons in a drunk driving accident, or a gang member, killed someone. You hear those rare stories where they're like, the mom is crying, looking at the perpetrator and was like, I forgive you. But my therapist is like, no, Evelyn, you don't always have to love those people. I get the point of love and being loving. But anyways, I'm going on a weird tangent right now. It's like very weird to drive home with sunglasses on, but it's the best way I can see. What a crazy day. What a crazy day. I got to go to Slow, have a drink at the Madonna Inn. Then I got to go to Solvang, buy some nice coffee and take a stroll. And then I got to go to some hot springs in Santa Barbara, smell the sulfur, listen to the frogs, talk to the fairies. It's been very special. Definitely went on a journey today. I had a lot of emotions and thoughts and lots of things to think and feel. Only had a little bit of music going. For the most part, the silence was wonderful. Just want to take a moment of gratitude. I am safe. I am out of harm's way. That I got to enjoy some beauty. I wasn't overly impulsive with my wallet. That I found ways to enjoy life without spending money or spending too much money. That I was able to be responsible and make some money and treat this like work, but allow myself to have fun, not be a capitalist today. And I hope you all get to enjoy some beauty in your life very soon if you aren't already. Experiences like this often come from you making that decision on your own. I do understand that trope where you want the universe to have it just fall into your lap and just kind of move you around like the rivers and the wind. But I think focusing on that and expecting that, it could probably work for some people. I know there's a lot of gray areas with manifestations, and a lot of people say manifestations happen when you are thinking about it and putting the action and work into it. And like people are saying with twin flames, a reunion is not actually with another person, it's within yourself. Could be both, depending. I don't know why I made that correlation to spiritual correlations there. Anyways, I need to plug my phone back into this charger. Make that 11% last me on my way home. I just want to say thank you. Peace, love, and light to all of you. Hope you treat yourself this week. Whether it's free, whether you have to spend money on yourself, whether you reach out to a friend and say, hey, I need a friend. Hey, I want a friend. Let's go on an adventure. Use the buddy system. Be smart when you're hiking. Don't do stupid shit by yourself. Even avid hikers need to be smart. Stay on the trail. I love you guys. I'm giving you a nice tuck into bed right now. A good morning kiss. An afternoon delight. Oh my gosh, what am I even saying anymore? Wow, what a day it's been. I like how I was so present in the moment that I lost my glasses. How did I lose my glasses? I kept thinking, oh, what a blessing it would be if they're like in my car somewhere, and I just didn't realize. But like, did that one Madonna in lemon drop just like totally kill me earlier? Like, where did you leave your glasses? I love this new purse that I got, but it doesn't hold a lot. And so I'm like, did I know that it wasn't going to hold a lot? Nope, gotta put my sunglasses back on. Damn, this is a scary ride. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, like, did I think that I didn't have enough room and I was like a little tipsy, and so I put it down somewhere thinking I felt like I was at home? Oh, like, I don't even know. Just a reminder. A good note to self. If you're going to drink and drink alone, be smart. I had one drink and I walked around for a while before I went back out. But it was enough to lose my glasses. Thank goodness. That was all I lost. But oh my goodness. I'm like tripping balls after like losing my favorite pair of glasses. And I'm so frugal. And gas is so expensive, so it's like $100 is basically like a $20 bill in America these days. And I'm like, $40 on new glasses, oh my God. Anyways, being silly. Focus on the good. Focus on what you do have. And you know what? If I was so lost in the moment that I got so comfortable that I lost my glasses because I was so invested in the moment, and this Friday was more important than focusing on what I wish I had in the future or what I regret not having from the past, then you know what? That's amazing. What a gift. What a gift to be alive and safe and loved. Take care, everyone.
All right, it's your turn. Let's do this. I know how to love. In my dreams, I was taught by you. I know how to love, 'cause in my dreams, I was taught by you. Just spend a little time with me. Maybe you will see just temporary.